Welcome to another week of This Week in Community. I am Rosie Sherry, your co-host, and today we have Ece with us. Hello, Ece. Welcome.
Hello. My first appearance will be as a co-host. Who knew?
It's the easiest way to become a podcaster, we like to say, or to get onto a podcast. Is just like we introduce you as a co-host, and there you are. You can tick something off your box.
Exactly. This is actually something that just yesterday I did order 2 lapel microphones from Amazon because I have an idea of
Okay.
maybe can turn into a community podcast, but who knows?
Oh, nice. Nice. I have a habit of ordering stuff and then not using it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that kind of habit.
I'm not gonna comment on that. And I'm definitely not looking over my laptop to my room and all with behind the screen.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, would you like to give a quick intro to the people listening in? Who you are, what you do, where you've come from?
Yeah, so my name is Ece. I am currently, for the last 4 years, or maybe 3, I don't know, who knows, community manager of Generalist World. And before that, I was doing independent community consultancy, freelancing for event management and community consultancy or community management. And I've been a member of Rosie Land for so long that we even which year was the Roseland retreat? 2022?
I think it was 3 years ago in September, so 23, I
Maybe
think.
23, yeah. It was a
Yeah.
good day.
Yeah, I still have my coaster that I use every day. My rainbow coaster. I
I
gave
have
everyone
the
a
same,
rainbow
yes.
coaster. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't done it since. I think that was a time in my life where I was in the midst of processing that I was coming back to MOT, and my mind was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" Um, and since then, I guess like I'm glad that I've managed to stick doing Rosieland things, but I definitely had to put a lot of things on the back burner that I wanted to do. But it was nice. It was nice day, I think, to get away,
Yeah.
by the beach, hang out.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I met so many amazing people that day that I'm still, in touch with. Um, Nicola is one of them. Um, she's now also a Generalist World member, and also she was at the London Community Week as well. So yeah, I mean, I think we've been touching on we were at London Community Week together 2 weeks ago, and in-person events has this weird thing of even if you do it once, the people that you meet there is just actually sticks more than the online. I don't want to ditch online communities. Obviously, I am a big part of online communities for so long, but there's
The
ice
ice cream van.
ice cream truck.
Excellent. That's very Rosieland. I think we have ice cream in Rosieland. Um, but yeah, I mean, I agree. It's there's it's never the same online for some reason. Even though there's many good things you can do, there's always something very different from meeting people in person. Um, and I think it's so easy to forget as well, which is one of the um, perhaps frustrating parts as community people, especially if we're organizing events. And I think events are only getting harder and harder at the moment, in-person ones, trying to convince people to show up. Um, just feels harder and harder at the moment. I don't know if you get that vibe.
Um, it is, I think, really much depend on the routine and the consistency of it. Like, what I'm getting is from the Generalist World side. So we have members who are organizing local meetups, and I'm the one who was organizing the meetups in Manchester. And up until now, I wasn't being consistent with the meetups in Manchester, so that when I do an event, it's hard to get people in. But for example, in the other locations where people are doing regularly, like every month or every other month, then they have a better traction and people keep showing up. Even if the numbers are fluctuating, there's always some people showing up. Um, so I think it's the consistency is really important because I mean, I'm thinking even as an attendee, if I want to join like an event, I want it to be there on the long run, I guess, so that I feel like I'm building genuine connections when I'm joining an event. Um, Also, I think it's hard to get people from cities to cities, from like countries to countries, but that's the thing that we've been trying to do with Generalist World is like small is okay, small is sometimes even better.
Mm.
Um, when I was in New York, we hosted one event, which was like a lunch time. It was only 6 or 8 people joining. And everyone commented on how they like that kind of events because in New York, there are so many like big tech meetups where you go and
Yeah.
it's just loud and you meet people, but you don't actually get to know anyone and you can't build any connections. Whereas when we have a smaller one, you're able to actually get to know the other person, get connect in a deeper level. Um, and then we had a couple of more meetups on the same week, and some of them were small, some of them were like really big. And I felt the same as well. I think smaller is kind of better sometimes, especially if you're focusing on connections.
Yeah. I think you can mix it as well. So we have a big like annual conference, 500, 600, 700 people kind of thing. And it's big, it's busy, right? It's a bit intense. Um, but this year we've been trying to like mix it up as well. So we have some, this is social the night before, which is smaller. Still a bit busy, but smaller. But then we started doing dinners. So we've got sponsors covering the cost of a dinner. And that's limited. There's like a limit on that of 20 people where people have to pre-register. Um, and that's been interesting. That's been quite nice to do. Um, it kind of serves the sponsors as well. They get to be in the room with people, and we get to um, define who can be in the room, which is kind of interesting as well. So the dinners that we're doing at the moment is our first step into doing dinners. They're for leaders in quality, so you have to have like a role of a lead role or above kind of thing. Um, and maybe some people won't like that, but it's like I think it's good to um, get the right people in the room and have different kind of conversations. Um, but hopefully we can do other themes as well, like AI theme, obviously, AI dinner. But it's like there's all kinds of themes we could play with. Um, but yeah, it's just like something that now that we have more of a platform and we can set up events easier. Um, as we were doing it, I was like, oh, we could just do like little micro events and have little chapters happening around our conference. Um, and it started to feel a bit festival like it's like, yeah, come for the conference, but then there's all these satellite events happening around it
Yeah.
that you can register for, but then you can also see who's registered, so you could reach out to people beforehand, or see who's on the list. It feels kind of nice. Um, and then like another one we have is like a engineering managers chapter meetup, and we've called it a party on the beach for engineering managers.
That's great.
Um, and that's just meeting in a pub kind of thing on the beach. Um, Super casual, but again, it's getting a certain group of people together who are interested in one thing, and they all know why they're there. So yeah, it's interesting, and we're kind of trying to think about, like, yes, we have a conference, but how can we do things differently, and how can we combine these smaller aspects to enable that connection? So you're almost matchmaking people, right?
Yeah,
For to so it's more useful for them, so that they can connect with the people that they want to connect. So
yeah,
it's almost like thinking, like, when you come to a conference, who is it that you want to connect with? And also, like, even though we have themes, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it also makes it easier for people to join in,
yeah,
right? And quite often, like, um, going to socials at conferences, or you don't know what's going on, or different people are organizing different things, and it's not visible because it's individuals themselves, or yeah, just like it's hard to know what's going on. So it's like this way, it's like we're trying to be inclusive by being clear about what these more micro events are. Um, and yeah, hopefully, I guess the goal is to better connect people somehow. We'll see how it goes, but it feels positive.
that makes sense. Exactly. I mean, obviously, big events, big conferences are a part of the world, and that makes sense. But like you said, because if I'm going to a conference, I'm thinking like, yeah, I can see the talks on the stage, but if it's the only thing that is being offered, then I'm not interested in that because I can sit down in my bed and watch it on YouTube. Like, I don't need to be in the room. But if I'm able to find easy to make connections in in the room, in person, and the way to do it is, I guess, it's like, yes, creating smaller containers so you know what to expect. This event could be in a Zoom call. Exactly, Andy. Um, that unfortunately there has been couple of conferences that I've attended in the past. Um, and I was so keen to go because I was keen to meet like very excited about some of the speakers, and I was like, "Oh, I want to go and meet these people, and then maybe I'll also make other connections." And then we were just shot in a room, watched the talks, and then it was just a loud lounge area where you're not able to actually make so much connections. But yeah,
Yeah,
small.
I also think there's, like, I don't know, people go to events and then you don't know they're there until, like, afterwards.
Yeah,
Once you see, like, a selfie, online somewhere, and you're like, "Oh, uh, damn, missed you," kind of thing. And
yeah,
I think perhaps there's room to improve that, for events in general. Um, like, Andy came to Brighton, and, you know, um, not that I went to, uh, all the events that he was going to, but it just got me thinking, like, you know, would it be, and we ended up, like, meeting up for a coffee. Um, but it's those kind of things, like, you don't you so often you don't know who's in the room,
yeah.
and even if they're in the room and very close to you, you might not even recognize them, because sometimes it's hard to connect faces to online, personas. And yeah, I guess, like, at London Community Week, there were a few people that came up to me that I was really glad that they had come up to me and said hello, like we had been in touch for years beforehand.
Mhm.
But if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have known they were in the room. And
Yeah,
it's those kind of things. It's like, what can we do as community people
yeah,
to ensure that those opportunities aren't missed?
yeah, that is true. I think also as an attendee as well, we need to accept the capacity of, like, I'm thinking of the like, when I go to an event, there's either someone that I haven't been seeing for so long that I wanna spend some time with them, or there are some people that I wanna meet for the first time. But then easily end up just hanging out with the people that I already know. And it is a very like energy saving way of actually attending a conference. Um, the the summit that we attended in the US in April, the Slowdown Summit, was a good, very well planned and executed event for introverts and neurodiverse people and quiet people. And I just really enjoyed the experience because there was a lot of connection points without any pressure. Um, but the biggest benefit for me was we organized a meetup before the event, like the one day before the event. And I actually made the most connections there rather than the summit itself.
Yeah.
Because during the summit, again, I was just focused on hanging out with the people that I already know. And then I wasn't able to connect with new people. But I guess as community builders, we need to also accept that not everyone have all the energy and capacity to just like socialize all the time, because it's easy to push people to be like engage and like go and meet these people, have a lot of meetings. But at the end of the day, if you're feeling exhausted, what is the benefit of it?
Yeah. It's hard. Definitely hard. Dilemmas, constant dilemmas. I don't know what the solutions are, if there are any.
There's there are no solutions, and there are a lot of solutions at the same time.
Yeah. So, and like, how's life for you at the moment in Generalist World?
It is good. It is exciting. We are now kicking off the International Generalist Day thing. Um, so just this week we were having meetings around the planning phase, and then we opened up the application to like hosts to host a lot of meetups around their cities. So I will be mostly focusing on that from now on because I want it to be my main thing, and I want it to be really good. Um, Reading it in Andy's thing.
Yeah.
No.
So Andy says, I think organizers could do more on intentional facilitation for connections, even something as simple as letting folks opt in to networking so they can connect before the in real life event.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. I think like perhaps one of my biggest frustrations is that sometimes we put effort into these things and then people don't pay attention or see things, and then it just becomes really hard to organize.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of our challenges.
Yeah. Especially at big events. Like I remember working in big conferences before, and then you have all the apps, like the conference apps that with all the capabilities, but then no one's using it. And then yeah, it is hard to manage that. I agree.
Yeah. So how do you manage the generalist world day? What's involved in that?
How do we manage it? Well, I wish we manage it as smooth as I wanted. It is mostly like we were having a planning meeting, and one of the goals this year is to not to have two separate Google Sheets, but only have one Google Sheet, right? So this shows the level of organization. Um, so what we've been doing is now we're collecting applications for people to host an event, and then we're gonna open up. So Beehive has opened up a new community platform thing, and I think it is a beta product right now. I am not sure if it's open to all users of Beehive, but we have access to it. And
Yeah.
we're going to be using the platform for gathering meetup hosts. So last
Okay.
year we were using WhatsApp, and I hate WhatsApp
Oh my god.
I don't like it. Like I love WhatsApp with talking with my friends, but even if the friends group
Yeah.
more than 10 people, it is a chaos. And having 120 people all around the world in a WhatsApp group wasn't a great experience. So
Yeah.
this year it will be on a separate platform, and it will have like separate channels for people to help each other out, because how IGD meetups work is people run their own events and then we add that to the calendar. But most of the hosts are the first time hosts. They haven't been hosting any meetups before. So people who've been hosting meetups, they help them out, they give them ideas, tips, and then we share a lot of like assets, resources, checklists on like how to run an event. Um, so all this communication hopefully will be in a more organized way this time. So this week I'm working on launching that platform and like preparing it so that we can start accepting our hosts there. So it's almost like we're creating a new community as like a satellite community, Generalist World. So this will be the meetup hosts community.
Interesting. So are they not necessarily paid members?
No, only at International Generalist Day we open it to everyone to host an
Yeah.
event,
Yeah.
but our regular local meetups are hosted by our members.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we have the motto of like 3 people is a meetup.
Yeah.
So we're not expecting anyone to like run a big event. I mean, if they want to, obviously we're happy for them. But what I want is people to be like, "Oh, is there? My city is so small, so isolated. You know, I live in a small town. There's no one around me." I want them to be like, "No, I am hosting a meetup, and then here are my 2 other generalist friends, and we're having a coffee, and then that's a meetup to me."
Yeah. It's good. It's good not to have the pressure, right? Just to, help people um connect and not feel like that they have to have those big results.
Yeah,
Um Andy says in the chat is that I like the 3 people are still in meetup philosophy. My favorite meetups were little groups at the back of a pub.
yeah,
Yeah, and I agree. And actually, like our conversations around just conferences and meetups made me think of Charlie Ward.
yeah,
Uh, and I think he's done amazing with his indie beers meetup, where it's just literally once a month. He's created that consistency.
yeah.
He has the same pub, I believe, every time, and just once a month that he schedules it, and it's started really really small, but now that it has a consistency, it gets lots of people. I think like 60, 70, 100 maybe people
And
every time.
same with what he done with Ramen Club and Ramen Space as well. I
Yeah,
think it was a weekly co-working day every Saturday, and
yeah,
then that turned into a co-working space that he runs. I mean, exactly, like, he definitely has a knack for it, because every time someone asks, like, a good example of a community building, especially, like, in-person community building, instead of because I used to work with a lot of co-working spaces, um, to help them out with, like, community building. What they do is they open the community space, and then they try to build a community, but
yeah,
Charlie did the opposite, and that is the way to do it.
yeah. And London Maxim has been fun to watch. I haven't been following it in too much detail, but it just like seeing that pop up, and I thought it was a thing, and then at first I didn't realize it was Charlie that started it, but then like seeing lots of other people talking about London Maxim is amazing. And like I knew Charlie back from Indie Hacker days, um, and yeah, just to see him just keep going, even like after like I guess Indie Hackers, the community has kind of lost its way somewhat. The fact that he's just kept going with his thing, but he's still got the indie vibe with it. I think it's been it's just great to see. He's doing his own thing. He's having fun. The fun aspect, I think is great too.
Yeah. Yeah, that is something I crave to do as well. Um, I really wanna do something similar in Manchester for not for, like, co-working, but more like an in-person gathering for more creative projects. Um, but I don't know. I don't feel like I have the capacity to initiate anything right now. But it's in my dream world. At some point, I'm doing some kind of an event space, in person space where I'm able to gather some creatives and like do really cool, fun stuff. Um, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard, it's not rocket science, but maybe it is hard, but it's one of those things that's just like consistency is
yeah,
actually harder than it seems.
yeah. It's
Um,
just consistency and commitment is the
yeah.
way.
I want my own co-working space as well, but I know I have to put in the work up front beforehand, and I just don't have it in me. Um, one day maybe, but I don't know. Too much going on.
One day.
I used to. I mean, like a lot of people don't know this, but I used to run a co-working space back in the day.
Mm,
Probably going back to 2010, like before co-working was popular. And it was fun. It was great. I did it for 3 years, but then I stepped back for reasons. But the experience itself was pretty amazing. Um, I made a lot of friends. I was there, a lot, and I organised, a monthly. I can't remember what I called it. Um, but yeah, a monthly event, like what the last Friday of every month was like a social, and everybody gathered within the co-working space, stuff like that. Um, so I always kind of miss those days, and that's kind of why I love seeing Charlie doing something fairly similar, and I know how good that can feel.
yeah,
But yeah, talking about Generalist World,
yeah,
um, we were talking like about the member life cycle aspect, um, and London Community Week, Gillian did a talk about the decay, I think it was.
yeah. I think it was the half life of engagement, because I know it was like the chemical turn of um terminology for it, like the physics terminology for it, like the half life. I think something like that. Yeah, the decay. Yeah, I was thinking of that because like, I think the highlight for me this week, so what we do with Millie is every Friday we do a weekly retro asynchronously on Notion. We just, like, write down, what went well, what we appreciated, what didn't go well, what are the opportunities, etcetera, kind of just we note down very casually, but it's nice to have a log of things going on. Um, and I was thinking about it, like, this week's highlight for me was we had one very active member, um and I checked Slack to see that when the last time I kinda, like, messaged with her, it was, like, September 2024, so almost, like, 2 years she wasn't active in the community. Because she had, like, some personal challenges going on and I got a new job, so she wasn't as active as before. And just yesterday, we had a catch-up call with her, and she's back because she's now kinda have more space, and she's, like, looking forward to engaging with the community again. And I just love that because that is why we turned into the lifetime membership model rather than the yearly subscription model. Um,
Yeah,
because we realized when people join, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months in, they have something going on and they're not active anymore. And then when the subscription time approaches, they start thinking, okay, did I get enough value from it? Do I have enough time to get back or like give back to the community, etc. So they don't necessarily renew just because of their um, own own life, basically. And we were thinking like community needs to be a lifetime thing because it needs to be there with you whenever you need it, not like to solve like I think Jillian's obviously was mostly focused on the product communities where the community is there to solve a problem. And I agree with the decay. I think what's different with membership communities like Generalist World is there's like a need of community, either a problem or like a need of belonging or something. And then people are engaged, and then that decreases, but then it goes back again because then the new need emerges. Um, like some of the cycles that we see in Generalist World, for example, people join because they're looking for a job, and then they're so active, so engaged, and then they find a job, and they currently like then they're so busy with the job, so they're not able to engage in the community, which I'm happy about it because they got the job. But then it comes, for example, a promotion or looking for another job or a negotiation for salary, and then they come back with a new problem or with a new need. Um, or Generalist World being a really social platform as well. We now have members coming back with like parenting advice, moving countries, etc. So it's not only about careers as well. So I like to have that kind of an open door so that people can flow through whenever they need it.
Yeah. Do you worry about like this the I guess the biggest thing that always comes up with lifetime membership is the long-term sustainability of supported members. Do you worry about that aspect longer term?
Long-term supporting is in I
As in like the income, like it's like obviously you get the income at one point, but then that income obviously stops, and it might be okay for a while, but in the future it's like you have to keep finding new members, but you don't have the recurring membership from,
the old one.
if yeah.
I think maybe this is more maybe Generalist World hasn't reached that kind of a maturity yet that we're not able to find new members because it is maybe it's because it feels more of a general identity to be a generalist. Is I'm thinking if it would be like a more of a narrowed audience, maybe that could have been the case. Like if it would be like we are looking for senior designers in the UK, then maybe that number could have been stalled. But um, well, Andy, do join. um, I I mean,
Sorry, and Andy says in the chat, just for context, join Generalist World has been on my to-do list for the last 6 months.
yeah, don't 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 delay it. Come join. Um, I don't know. I think we didn't because what happens is with the subscription model as well, we we were losing the old members. So the number, the actual number of the community members weren't changing as well. So it wasn't actually like like revenue wise, it wasn't better than right now.
Yeah,
Mm. Because with this one, we're able to be more open about it's a lifetime community, come join. And then um, I think it's more attractive as an offer
yeah,
as well. And maybe because of it's more of an identity thing being a generalist rather than like a job title or something, we haven't reached into a problem of like, oh, there are no generalists left in the world. So let's get any new members.
you've got them all. There's
Yeah.
none left.
They're,
What are you going to do next?
they're making kids, so there will be more generalists as well.
Uh, it's funny to think about, but it's interesting because, like, from a user customer member perspective, to me, it's appealing. But then I would think about it like from our MOT perspective. I would worry that I guess we rely on the recurring revenue,
Mhm.
um, but it's I guess like lifetime membership. Like I've been thinking about like the I guess the generalist perspective, generalist world perspective, and like I guess sometimes I mean you could do like lifetime membership, but it doesn't mean it's lifetime for everything forever.
Mhm.
So, like, lifetime membership now is for what you have right now, but, I guess it's, like, being careful about what you promise.
Yeah.
It's a lifetime membership is for this level of community, but as your community grows, you can introduce different levels, which might give
Yeah.
unlock access and still charge for those kind of things. Um, because yeah, I mean, like you say, it's not nice. Like when people need help and they've been a member and then they can't find that help. Um, but for example, at MOT, is like once you're a member, you're always a member. But there's a basic level. Once you're in the Slack, you get access to the Slack forever. Um, Partly because it's nearly impossible just to maintain members. It's like the worst thing. But it's like once you're in there, and you can participate in the channels. So that there's always like a free layer. So it's
Yeah.
not like we ever cut anything off. Um,
I think there are
and yeah,
two aspects to this. One is definitely one of the reasons that when we were turning into the lifetime membership last year, one of the reasons was to also cut back the operations from our side as well. Because every time someone cancels or like the subscription renews, then it comes with all these like automations like, oh, okay, check Slack, are they still a blah blah blah, like this kind of bit. Obviously this can be solved with technology. I'm not saying it is impossible, but still it comes with extra um, admin, which then you can easily use that time to serve the community. And the other one was, um, for example, I was always feeling anxious about always having some kind of an masterclass going on or an event going on in the community, or when I was going to ask for help from a community member to chime in to volunteer, then I was feeling like, oh, but their subscription is getting, closed now. Like, are they going to renew? Will they be here next year or not?
yeah,
Can I ask for help from that member? So it was a bit becoming, because the community means co-creating something, but then it creates a friction of co-creating with this annual subscription model. With the lifetime one, we're now able to more easily ask for help from members, and they're more eager to give back and participate and like host an event, host a chapter, lead a project, whatever like kind of a volunteering they want to do. Because we all know that, like, it's just we're here for forever or like for however long this goes. Um but I agree with you on that side of like, if in the future, we don't have any plans about it, but if in the future we would have a product or a service that would serve only specific types of people, then maybe it would be like an additional something, or I don't know, like it is obviously always possible to change things if we need to.
yeah, and like you say, you're using Beehive now for the Generalist Day.
Yeah.
Um, So, that it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, but that's almost like a free layer, potentially. I don't know if you have plans to use that Beehive for everything or if you're just keeping it contained for the moment for the
I
Generalist Day.
I think currently we're gonna use it for International Generalist Day, so we understand the platform as well. Um, because migrating the whole community from Slack, which we've been using from the beginning, and Slack has all of its own negative things, obviously, but like migrating the whole community would be risky and wouldn't be right right now. So testing it with a more specific need and a smaller group to see the capabilities, and then we can decide. And also, we would obviously consult the community with that kind of a decision as well. Is that what people want? Do they want to go, or like what do they dream of? Because obviously, community is not just the forum. There's events, there are a lot of things. So
Yeah, absolutely. I like Slack. I know there's,
I like the
different.
convenience of it or the habit of it. definitely. Yeah, there are some drawbacks, but not much.
I've been thinking about using Claude with Slack and seeing how to. I mean, we use it for our private internal one, and
Mm,
we're starting to explore that. But I'm wondering if there's ways to think about using Claude for like community type Slacks to gather stuff. But
yeah.
yeah,
There are a lot of interesting tools, like, there's one that a friend of mine developing right now. Um, I'm thinking how much I should disclose about this or not to give the idea of it, but basically it helps with, like, getting more insights from Slack and, like, what people are talking about, etcetera, so that you can give people, more targeted advice or recommendations about, like, "Oh, this event is better for you," blah, blah, kind of a thing.
yeah. Andrew says Claude as virtual community assistant summoned via Slack.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, some kind of an assistance is needed. Nowadays, I am not able to keep a track of every thread going on Generalist World for sure. I used to read everything, and now I'm like, I can't keep track. It's too engaged. Whenever I see a post or like someone on my LinkedIn DMs trying to sell me something about like an engagement, I'm like, I don't want it. If anything, I want people to be less engaged in the community.
Do you use any tools for your Slack community, or do you just use it out of the box?
Um, what do we use? We use something called Waves for archiving the conversations because we don't have the Slack premium. So we
Yeah,
just have the conversations backed up there. Um, do we use anything else? We do use curated connections for the member matching.
okay,
Instead of like a donut or something like that, we use the curated
yeah,
connections. Um, I don't think we use anything else, to be honest.
yeah. Me
Very
neither. I don't use anything. We just use it out of the box.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I mean, it's nice to have the archive because it saves the member introductions as well. So it acts as if like a directory. So we're able to kind of keyword search some people if we want to introduce people to each other. Um,
Okay.
and one of our members built a, a better version of a member map because I had a manual Google map that I was pinning everyone manually. And I I tried to solve it with, like, build something with Claude, and I couldn't make it myself, and I was like, "I should just ask for help from a member," and then he was able to build it in 2 hours, and I was like, "Thank you." So that's, like but it's like an external thing where people just, like, add themselves to the map so that they can
Okay.
see on, like, a visual map, like,
Yeah.
where's everyone.
I think this is the thing about community where like it's it's easy to forget that all these pains exist. It's like, yes, you can create a map, but it's a pain in the ass to
Exactly.
maintain. It's a good idea, but then you have to maintain it, or then it stops getting maintained, or
Yeah.
it relies on you unless, obviously you get someone else to build it. But even if you do get someone else to build it, then you still have to put effort into making people aware that it
Yeah.
exists and to
Also,
add to it.
regular updates and regular reminders as well. Like, I am definitely guilty of not because I am kinda, like, reluctant to send too many emails, thinking like, "Oh, like, I don't wanna send another email, like, I already talked about this last month," but actually no one reads anything, so we should keep sending it. We should keep reminding of, like, "Add yourself to the map," or, like, "Here is this program," or, "Here is this thing that you can do in the community." And then send more reminders or DMs as well. I never send except of the onboarding welcome messages. I don't have any of the DMs on Slack of like, inviting people to events or etc. Don't do that. But maybe I should do more.
So what regular communications do you do?
We have our weekly community roundup email.
Yeah.
And that's Mildred, our other team member, writes it. So she summarizes all the ask for helps and highlights some of the interesting conversations or like the celebrations going on and lists the upcoming events. So every week there's a way to see that, like what is needed in the community and the upcoming events, and if there is any announcements. And I try to post every week the upcoming events on Slack as a reminder of like, here are the upcoming events with the links going on, because our members are now hosts events too. It's not just me putting events on the calendar, but then if someone wants to host a roundtable or something, they're able to host it without me. So it's my job to kind of put it on the calendar and remind people to join in. What else? And then we did one Q1 recap thing as a whole team, and it was so good, and we want to do it again. We just all four of us on the team just did like a kind of like a stakeholder presentation, because members are our stakeholders. So we just
Okay.
reported them what we've been up to for the first quarter of the year, and everyone presented their own bit. And it's like, we did this many events, this happened, blah blah blah. It was really well received. We
Yeah,
want to do that again.
that's cool. Simon recently did he created a Claude skill to gather analysis of wins. So we
Mm,
have a internal wins channel that every time we see something good or positive happening, we just post it into the wins channel. And he created a Claude skill for that, to summarize it. He's only done it once so far, but the idea would be like once a month we could, run it and then it could summarize stuff, which is fun, interesting. It's like I think day to day, it's easy to forget like progress that we do make. Like community is so relentless
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
and
And
so
so fast as well, like so much going on. Like we did a summer school campaign in June, I think. I can't even remember the date.
yeah.
And it was so big, so super that like it's gone now. Like we don't
Um,
know about it anymore.
it's,
Uh,
it's it's wild, right? It's like we do big things,
yeah.
and then like literally just weeks later, you've almost forgotten about it. Um, we often feel the same, like like with a big conference, for example. But it just moves by so quickly. Not because, yeah, I guess it moves by because community doesn't stop. It's like you have to keep moving. There's always more to do, or there's the next event to prepare for, and it's like um, I'm definitely like more conscious and aware of that, and trying to really pull back on things and not over commit ourselves, but we still feel overcommitted as a team that we
Yeah.
are. Just like, yeah, will it ever stop? And um, how do we calm things down or find space for breathers? Um, but yeah, I guess for us as a team, we're definitely trying to tap into the efficiencies, and some of them are small gains. Um, Even like the wincing that I just mentioned, but like another one is Deanna, our events and marketing person. Um, she posts a list of upcoming events for the next week, the week coming up, on a Friday. But she uses Claude to like um, gather the list and have it all formatted so that it takes 5 minutes instead of maybe
Yeah.
20 minutes.
This is one of my things, like I tried a couple of months ago with something else, I think, and I gave up because I was trying to do the same thing. It's like instead of me sending, because the need is a regular email that goes about events, right? And then instead of me scraping all the links and then putting on there, this is a very automatable skill. I tried it, and because we use Luma, and Luma has the member only thing, and I think Claude wasn't able to see the member only events, so it was only seeing the open events, like the public ones. And I was like, oh, it took me too long to just trying to just figure this out. And then I gave up. But actually, you reminded me to take a look at it again because it would be so easy.
Yeah. It
And
might be that you need to use co-work and be logged in so that
yeah,
something like that. I don't know.
like that probably.
Um,
Um, exactly. And also, like, it was a couple of months ago I tried, and like it evolves. So maybe
yeah,
the settings might have changed with Luma as well. So I should try again.
yeah, yeah. It's definitely like it seems easy, and sometimes you hit a wall, and you're like, "This has taken me longer than it would have just taken me to do the job."
Yeah,
Um, but I think some of it is also getting used to it and learning how it's done. But there's definitely lots of little efficiency gains, and I think they kind of stack up. It's like once you learn how to do one thing, then you discover other opportunities to do
yeah,
more of the same or to even do that better. You start like leveling up.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, like we're the same, like kind of like Claude. It's not been that long since we started using it, probably 2 or 3 months, but it's
Mhm.
like it's really become like a um thing that we tap into daily now, which is pretty amazing. Um, thinking about it, it's like, oh wow, we actually use this daily as a team,
Yeah.
um, and we almost couldn't live without it. It's like,
Like,
oh
oh yeah. Like yesterday, I used it for the first time to do something, which is scraping all the past events, past in-person events on Luma, and downloading all the attendee emails on a Google Sheet for each city, because now the next international generalist day coming, I want to be able to send invites to the people who are in the city, right? And I was like, okay, this is like a nice task to try for me to learn how to use it with Cloud. And it was taking at least 10, 15 minutes for each event for it to do, like, find the event, scrape it, put it on Google Drive. I was like, 15 minutes is too, like, I could have done it for 5 minutes. But obviously, then I realized it's does something, I don't know what was it. I'm not, definitely don't understand the technicalities of it. But then I was like, can it be done more quickly? Like, is it as you do you need to use Zapier or something? Like, I was basically asking Claude to be like, how can I help you to make it faster? Because this is too slow. It will take your whole 2 days. And then it changes the setting, and it was like fast. Um,
yeah,
but at the beginning, I was like, this is not efficient.
that's true. Made me think of Claudia Cafeo. You probably need some consulting Zapier advice from her.
Yes.
Um, but maybe in those kind of situations, it's about exporting the data and then rather than scraping. There's
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
efficiencies rather than yeah. I don't know if there's settings in Luma to just export it all, but then yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things of like trying to
But
figure out the best way to do things.
yeah, but that will be, for example, now will be really helpful for me because um one of the things that we get a lot of friction is finding the right event on Luma, or like finding the right past event on Luma to be able to send invites. And then if it's not the admin account, then the meetup host is not able to send the event. It's like so fiddly, and it's always
Yeah,
requires me to be on the computer, and it's not sustainable because
Yeah.
what's gonna happen when I'm away?
Yeah.
Now if we would have the lists somewhere that people can, like, access to, like the
Yeah.
trusted people, not everyone, obviously. Um, then they would be able to, like, send it's like it's so funny that, like, all I want is to bring people together in real life, but the way to do it is just me looking at my computer and, like, fiddling it with the AI code to, like, finding a solution.
It's amazing, right, though? I mean, like, these conversations and, like, a big reason why we started building our own platform was because it's so all these things is that it should be easier. Why are community people struggling with all the little bits of admin and operations? Um, and yeah, I guess just to wrap up is that I feel like there's like so much potential for community innovation to happen to
Yeah,
get rid of these pain points because um you know I think so many community people deal with this kind of stuff every day, and we shouldn't. We should be focused, be able to be focused more on the people and
yeah,
really, making it work better rather than trying to handle every little bit of data.
yeah. Good old days of, like, just having CRMs and Excel sheets and I don't know. Um, I think the more techy we go, the more complicated everything becomes. Like, the more, like, tags and segmentations, and I think I just want good old Excel sheet of, like, "These are the people in London." Just, like, tells me that.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a philosophy at the moment. It's like every time we open up a spreadsheet, it's like we shouldn't be using a spreadsheet. We're like thinking about, well, how can we build this into our platform instead of using a spreadsheet? Because spreadsheet is, for me at least, is where stuff goes to die. Or like I get lost in the spreadsheets, I get lost in the Google Drive. But even if we could have like a really simple MVP version of the spreadsheet on our platform, that's progress to us. Um, but it is what it is.
That's what it
We're
is.
not we're not there yet, but we're trying, and it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Andy in the chat says spreadsheets are good starting points. Something structured to quickly hack around, then flip it. Yeah, spreadsheets are like an MVP, right? I think so. It's fine to use them, but
I think
if
so.
yeah, long term, it's not great.
Exactly.
But yeah, thank you, Ajay. It's
Oh, thank
been
you, Rosie.
wonderful to.
I I enjoyed it. It was like a nice refresh for my brain as well to go from the, like, work, like, just do mode or plan mode to just, like, think about what are we even doing? What is community? I like going back to that because then it refreshes, the big picture of it.
Absolutely awesome.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Andy, for joining us on the chat as well.
Thank you very much. Over and out.